Hello, welcome to the first Geek Lunch Me of 2022. I'm your host Chris. As usual, Happy New Year. I hope you all had a good festive season and COVID didn't get in the way of your plans too much. For today, we'll start off by just going over the little snippets of news that we've had over the last couple of weeks. Not too much. Obviously, Christmas tends to we don't get much sort of new announcements coming out. And then we'll take a look at what's coming up for the rest of the year, the sort of things that we'll be covering. So probably the biggest news is Spider-Man No Way Home absolutely has smashed the box office, opened to the second highest weekend of all time. I think it was in the States, just below Endgame, the only one that's beaten it. As I'm recording this, it's currently just over 1.3 billion worldwide gross. So another absolutely smash hit for Marvel, and it's become Sony's biggest ever financial hit as well. So yeah, Spidey is going great guns. I gave a quick spoiler-free review of it on the last show. Obviously now it's been out a few weeks. I'm sure if you want to see it, you've probably seen it. So I'll go into a few spoilers. If you don't want to know, close your lug-holes now. As I said in the last episode as well, the first film that I can remember with cheering and clapping since Endgame. Obviously when the two other Spider-Men showed up. It would have been interesting. Apparently, Sony said their original plan was not to have any of the multiverse in any of the trailers. So this was all would have come as a massive shock. And I can see that would have been fantastic. It would have been like Endgame. I've mentioned before that the trailer for Endgame only had most of the footage was from the first 10 minutes. So you didn't get to know what any of the story was about. And yeah, that would have been incredible. I can see why they didn't go that way, and the box office has sort of shown that by giving us and telling us the Doc Ock and Green Goblin and Lizard and Sandman were going to be in it. It made people go, wow, this is something big. Obviously, it did give rise to all the rumors. Probably the worst kept secrets in Hollywood that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield were going to show up. So yeah, I can see why they did that. In the marketing. But yeah, it would have been nice to have just had them suddenly appear, not knowing at all they were going to turn up. Would have been great, but even so, it was awesome. And it now does give Sony something else to think about because Andrew Garfield has been really well received. His two Spider-Man movies weren't great. He was a great Peter Parker. Just the actual scripts let them down. Now they've got the fact that they can use him in their own Spider-Verse, where they've got Venom and Morbius coming out soon. So yeah, especially because Tom Holland has hinted that, even though he said that apparently there is going to be another Spider-Man trilogy, he's also hinted that he wants to take a break from acting. So I wonder if maybe Sony will go that route and have some sort of the Spider-Man of an alternate multiverse there. So yeah, maybe they'll go that way. So also attached to the very end of the Spider-Man No Way Home credits was the teaser trailer for Doctor Strange, which has since been released online. I'll put a link to it as usual. Also, whilst I remember, if you could hit the like, hit the thumbs up, and subscribe, that'd be absolutely fantastic. We've got lots of good content coming up in the year. Yeah, so Doctor Strange, so you can watch that now. Sam Raimi's take on the multiverse. We've got Wanda in there, as we knew. You get glimpses of American Chavez and Rachel McAdams as Doctor Strange's old girlfriend, and we've got the evil Doctor Strange. It looks as well. So coming in from the What If animated series that was on Disney Plus. So it looks like obviously that embraced the whole multiverse as well. So it looks like that may be possibly becoming important. So who knows what we could see in the movie? Imagine if we got to see a live action Captain Carter with Haley Atwell. Who knows? Could be anything goes. I think I think it's going to be definitely a strange, excuse the pun, movie. In direct contrast to Spider-Man's box office runaway success, The Matrix Resurrections opened. I haven't had a chance to see it yet because of the Christmas holidays, and it doesn't seem to have gone down particularly well. Its opening weekend, $12 million in the States. Obviously, no way on par with the previous episodes. So it would appear that the two lackluster sequels have put people off, and that the sort of trailers that made it look like some sort of strange remake reboot possibly people haven't gone for. It's currently sitting at 72 million worldwide. So yeah, not a huge success. Will we see any more going forward? Probably not. It seems to be very a Marmite film. You either love it or hate it, and it seems the majority of people weren't that keen. I'll get around to seeing it eventually, and I'll let you know my thoughts on it when I do. We also got the new trailer for Uncharted as well. Again, I'll leave a link in the description below. I really want this film to be good. I love the games and I love adventure movies. And I don't know, I'm getting a vibe. But there are bits that, yeah, straight out of the game. But we've seen that in video game movie trailers before, where they do that to hook the fans in, and then the films have inevitably been pretty crappy. So yeah, jury's still out on this one. I'll give it a chance. It's a shame because Tom, I know they're going obviously for the let's make Drake younger, so that if it then is successful, you've got a franchise there you can carry on with. But yeah, Mark Wahlberg just appears to be more Drake than Tom Holland. Even though he's playing obviously the older mentor Sully. Yeah, so I don't know. There's a bit. It reminds me of the Mummy a bit with the sort of ships that are flying around near the end of the trailer. So yeah, I'll give it a go. I really, fingers crossed that it's going to be good, but I'm not holding out much hope on that one. Now, James Mangold tweeted about Indiana Jones 5. Unfortunately, we're not getting it this summer because it's been delayed, and so it's not coming out till summer 2023. He did say that they've only got about a month left of filming, and they're going back into the studio next week, I think. They've got about a month left of studio filming, and then they move into post-production. They'll obviously have a massive post-production window because they're not coming out for almost 18 months. So yeah, I don't know how much more we're going to hear about Indy 5 after that. Eventually we'll get a teaser trailer, but I don't suspect that's going to be for a while. Drew Struzan, the legendary poster illustrator, did reiterate again that he's retired and is not doing the poster for it. I did think when he said this before that maybe it was a bit of misdirection and that hopefully he was going to do, like a one-off, but I don't know. I'm starting to think maybe that's not going to be the case. He didn't do, the last Star Wars trilogy. He did just a look at the teaser promo image, and then that was that. And so who knows? It'd be a shame. I'd love him to come out of retirement and do the new indie poster, but we'll see on that one. We also did get just a couple of steals. Avatar 2, which is finally coming this year. We get to see a chap called Spider, who apparently is the adopted son of Jake and Neytiri. So, say they've not really said anything else. Don't know how it fits in story-wise. Again, it shows him in water because obviously James Cameron, with his massive water fetish, most of this film apparently is set underwater or in the seas of Pandora. And then we got just a quick steal, another one from Jurassic World Dominion, also now coming this year, where we get to see a new type of raptor chasing Chris Pratt's character Grady on his motorbike. So not much else to that. Now, we did get the first episode of the Book of Boba Fett dropped on Disney Plus last Wednesday, and yeah, it's a solid, if not outstanding start. Now, we got the end credit scene at the end of Mandalorian season 2, where we saw Boba and Fennec Shand come in, kill Bib Fortuna, and basically take over Jabba's old crime syndicate. Now, to be honest, at the end of episode 1 of the Book of Boba Fett, we still don't know anything more because a large part of the episode is a flashback showing us how Boba got out of the Sarlacc pit, which is cool to see. It was great to see inside the Sarlacc, to see him digging his way out. And then the Jawas stealing his armor, as we knew they did, because it turns out where Cobb Vanth gets it, trades it with them, which we saw in the last season of Mandalorian. And then he's captured by some sand people, and then has to earn their respect and ends up fighting a very sort of Ray Harryhausen inspired monster, which is nicely done. Yeah, and then we end up at the end of the episode. We haven't really learned much. I don't even think it looks like the flashbacks are finished. We have learned that Boba is probably more injured than he lets on. He's got to sleep in a Bacta tank for treatment, it looks like, quite a lot of the time. One of my favourite parts was we got to see a new iteration of the band with one of the Biff, one of the original Cantina musicians, playing a guitar, and an awesome like a droid astromech unit playing the drums as well, which was great. Always love it when they put in little things like that. So yeah, as I say, a solid start. Doesn't really give us any more story. So hopefully this week's episode will give us sort of a lot more going forward. Now, going on, looking ahead of what we can expect in the upcoming year. Very soon, January the 14th, we're getting Scream, the legacy reboot sequel, whatever, one of those films that they keep doing these days, where who knows what sort of category it fits into. It's definitely a sequel, but it's sort of rebooting it for a new generation as well. I expect more on much of a muchness. All the Scream films pretty much the same. I do enjoy them, except for the third one, which wasn't much cop at all. So yeah, that's coming January the 14th. And then at the end of the month, we've got Morbius, as I mentioned before, Jared Leto's the living vampire going into Sony's Spider-Man universe. So it'll be interesting to see what we get from that. Michael Keaton did let slip a while back that he was filming some new Vulture scenes. Whether or not he's going to crop up in that, I half expect him to turn up in SpiderMan No Way Home. So no, maybe he will turn up in this. Obviously, he may turn up in Doctor Strange. But yeah, so Morbius is coming. Difficult to say how big that film's going to be. The trailer does reference Venom, which has done pretty well for Sony in the past. Now, with the ties from Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield and that, maybe something, maybe they'll try that in a bit more there. February the 4th, we've got the ludicrous looking Moonfall, Roland Emmerich's new disaster epic with aliens doing something that makes the moon appear going to drop on the earth. The trailer looks ludicrous. It might be good popcorn entertainment. Again, jury's out on that one. I quite like some of his stuff just for the visuals. Day After Tomorrow I quite enjoy. Not the greatest films, but something, you can just switch off your brain and enjoy them for what they are. February the 18th is Uncharted, as I've said before. Fingers crossed that it's good. March the 4th is the Batman. Robert Pattinson dons the cowl. We get Colin Farrell as Penguin as well. We've got Catwoman in there as well, and the Riddler. Yeah, and looks like a much more gritty version. It's another one of DC's not connected to anything else films. They don't need to do anything coherently. It looks pretty good, but again, who knows? We've had so many different Batman films in the past. March the 11th is Turning Red, the Pixar movie I've covered before about the girl that turns into a giant red panda when she gets anxious. So, Pixar stuff's always, you know what you're going to get. So that'd be one for the family. March 25th, The Lost City. I didn't really know anything about this until the trailer dropped with Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum, where she's a romance novelist and he's the cover model for the books. And she goes on some sort of adventure. Daniel Radcliffe's in it as well. I started watching the trailer and I thought, man, this looks absolutely terrible. This looks appalling. But then as the trailer went on, I don't know. And then Brad Pitt suddenly turned up at the end. And now I'm not sure. It's either going to be absolute crap or genius. And I don't know. Until I see it, I'm not sure which way that's going to go. So, that's The Lost City on the 25th. Also on the 25th, we get Everything Everywhere All at Once, starring Michelle Yeoh, which I mentioned, I think it was in the last episode, which looks absolutely fantastic. It looks really bizarre, right up my alley. So I am looking forward to that one. That's got a multiverse feel as well that everyone's obviously going for this year. April the 22nd, The Northman. Robert Eggers' movie. He did The Witch and The Lighthouse, not movies for everybody. I enjoyed them. This is Alexander Skarsgård as a Viking revenge movie. I imagine it will look beautiful and be absolutely brutal and bleak, knowing what Eggers is like. But yeah, that looks good as well. May the 6th, Doctor Strange's Multiverse of Madness, that I've already gone over. That's obviously going to be huge everywhere. May the 27th, the much anticipated and delayed Top Gun Maverick, to the delight of my wife and daughter and Tom Cruise fans all over the world, no doubt. That's finally coming out May 27th, touch wood. June the 10th, Jurassic World Dominion. I like a bit of dinosaur fun, and it's got all the original cast from the first Jurassic Park in it as well. Supposedly not just cameos, but actual proper parts. So, yeah, sort of culmination of everything they've been working towards with that. So I'm looking forward to that. June the 17th is Lightyear, Pixar's animated film about with it's Chris Evans, isn't it? Yeah, as Buzz, in the sort of story of what inspired the toy line. So yeah, looks interesting. June 24th, Black Phone. Don't know much about it. It's got Ethan Hawke in it. It is based on a short story by Joe Hill, who is the son of Stephen King. I have read it. I do like all of his stuff. So that is coming out June 24th. Don't know much more about it at this point. July the 8th is another big one, Thor, Love and Thunder. I absolutely love Thor Ragnarok. I've said before, Taika Waititi can do no wrong in my eyes. Absolutely love the man. Presumably, if this carries on from Endgame, you're going to get a bit of the Guardians in it, possibly at the start at least, I would say. Natalie Portman is back as well on board. Christian Bale is in there as well. So, yeah, I mean, that's going to be huge. July the 29th is The Rock as Black Adam. I don't really know anything about it. It's another DC one. Again, whether or not it is fitting in, I mean, they've said that they've abandoned the Zack Snyder verse. So how this fits in with their continuity, I don't really know. September 30th is the delayed Mission Impossible 7 again, more Tom Cruise action for those that like him. October the 7th is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1, the animated Sony Spider Multiverse thing again, which I mentioned, I think, in the last episode. November the 4th is The Flash, another DC movie. Again, I don't know how this fits into continuity-wise, because it is The Flash from their Snyder films, so I don't know what they'll be going on there. It has got Michael Keaton in it as the Batman from the Tim Burton movies, which I love. So yeah, I mean, I wasn't a fan of the Flash character, but I do like Batman's. Be interested to see how big a part he plays in it. Again, a multiverse type thing that everyone's going for. November the 11th is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, which will, I mean, that film's going to be huge. The first one was. This can be particularly interesting, obviously, after the unfortunate passing of Chadwick Boseman. It's going to be interesting because they're not going to replace him. So obviously there was more of an ensemble cast with all the people in Wakanda. So is someone else going to don the mantle of Black Panther? We saw from the first film that it is a title that can be bestowed to different people. So yeah, is someone actually going to take on the role, or are they actually just going to respect that and just leave that role unfilled and just go forward, say, with other characters? It'll be interesting to see with that one. Then December 16th, Avatar 2, as I mentioned before, finally is going to hit the screen after years and years and years of delays. Who knows? Avatar is still the highest grossing movie of all time. Was that just a flash in the pan? Was it lightning in the bottle with the whole emergence of it was the first film really that brought 3D back? But you can never, as I've said before, you can never write James Cameron off. Comments on the internet would indicate that people are interested in this movie at all, but we will see. And also in December, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, the final DC film for this year. Again, I didn't go much on the first Aquaman movie. It was okay. Again, continuity-wise with DC, who knows where this one fits in. They will just presumably be ignoring all of the Snyder stuff with that and going forward. TV-wise, a few things. We've got Umbrella Academy. Season 3 will be coming this year. They've just been dropping some posters highlighting the Sparrow Academy that we saw at the end of season 2. So yeah, absolutely love Umbrella Academy. So looking forward to that. And of course, we get Stranger Things 4, which we've had the trailers for before. That's just coming, it says, sometime this summer. Again, been delayed. The kids are looking older, but they're saying it's the biggest season yet. A lot of huge stuff going on. So looking forward to that. Star Wars wise, obviously Book of Boba Fett is currently running. We will also be getting the Obi-Wan series this year, reuniting Hayden Christensen with Ewan McGregor. We were getting the Andor series, the sort of prologue to Rogue One, with Diego Luna as Cassian Andor. That's coming later in the year. We'll also be getting Mando season 3, presumably right at the end of the year, maybe go into the beginning of 2023, and Bad Batch season 2, the animated show, we should be getting this year as well. And then from Marvel, we should be getting Moon Knight, She-Hulk, and Ms. Marvel this year as well, along with some animated shows. I wonder if maybe with the introduction of Kingpin in Hawkeye and obviously Charlie Cox as Daredevil in SpiderMan No Way Home, with She-Hulk being based in New York, and I believe she is a lawyer. I wonder if we're going to see some them reoccurring. Would make sense, especially I think Moon Knight is possible to set in New York, and Ms. Marvel as well. I think maybe bringing Kingpin seems a good idea. He, as a big crime boss that can now have his story arcing over different shows. So yeah, that's all the things, some of the stuff we've got looking forward to this year. So yeah, that's about it from me. So as I say, Happy New Year to you all. Like and subscribe would be absolutely fantastic. Until next time, take care and eat geek and be merry.